They continue their journey through the shark-infested streets of LA for another 30 seconds or so when their car breaks down. My god, how long can they pad this? They're not exactly making a long journey across Middle Earth. They're driving about 15 miles from Beverly Hills to Van Nuys. And as if that wasn't enough, they smell a gas leak and run for it. I'm not sure why they're panicking. Sure, gas leaks can be dangerous, but without an ignition source, it's not going to spontaneously explode. Oh, wait, sorry, I forgot what movie I was watching, never mind. While they're on foot, they decide to stop at a convenience store for supplies and, okay, what the hell is that? First of all, that's not a TV, that's a Dell computer monitor, and second, much like the poorly disguised Jägermeister signs from earlier in the film, who do they think they're fooling? If you can't show the Dell logo in your movie, just cover the whole thing. Anyway, the news broadcast warns them of incoming tornadoes, which are, of course, full of sharks. Okay, movie, I retract my claim of false advertising, but watch yourself. They also find a car dealer across the street and swipe a modified Hummer, so they're finally back on the road. For about 30 seconds until the street is blocked off by an accident. Well, they say it's completely blocked off, even though we can clearly see it's not. There are cars moving, and there's a cop directing traffic who probably would have let them through if they just waited a minute. But apparently our heroes have run out of patience, I know how they feel, and they make a run for it. This is incredibly stupid, but at this point, if it gets the plot moving, I'm all for it. And as luck would have it, this Hummer has nitrous, which allows them to ditch the cops. Reckless driving and evading police. Our heroes, ladies and gentlemen. Finally, they make it to the flight school in Van Nuys and find Matt and a few other students holed up inside. But they don't have long to celebrate this family reunion as a tornado is rapidly approaching and...
Oh my god, that was awesome. She's just standing there and suddenly the skylight blows open and whoop! Oh, she just died. I'm a horrible person.
The rest of them survive in their makeshift shelter long enough for the danger to pass, and when they step outside, we find that while the tornado sucked up almost everything outside the hangar, it left behind the Hummer and one fully functional helicopter. That was nice of it. Unfortunately, the copter isn't big enough to carry everyone out of here, and Finn declares it's time to stand their ground.
What are we gonna do?
We're gonna stand and fight.
Oh, you want to fight the tornado, do you? What are you gonna do, beat it with a tire iron?
Actually, they have another plan, which is no less ridiculous. They break into a hardware store next door. Funny how everything they need is always conveniently located nearby, and they make some homemade bombs out of propane canisters. The plan is to fly next to the tornadoes with the helicopter and drop the bombs into them. You heard me.
Tornadoes happen when cold and warm air meet. Now, if you drop a bomb head right in the middle of it, you just might equalize it.
Bravo, movie. Bravo. Just when I think you can't possibly get any dumber, you knock one out of the park.
A, you are not going to survive flying a helicopter that close to a tornado, which the movie tells us is between F4 and F5 class. B, even if your idea of heating up a tornado to neutralize it was scientifically sound in principle, a handheld propane canister is not going to even come close to generating the amount of heat you need. And C, if it was that fucking simple, surely the military would have figured this out by now and would be far better equipped to handle such a thing. But no, apparently we can't rely on the military. Our saviors are a random bunch of civilians and a kid who's still in flight school.
They're all gonna die.
With their makeshift bombs ready to go, they load up the helicopter and Matt and Nova take off. Baz also loads a few bombs into the Hummer in case they need a plan B, which is basically a suicide run into the heart of the storm. In spite of all known laws of physics, nature, and common sense, the plan works and they neutralize the first Sharknado. Unfortunately, while the wind is gone, the sharks are still there. It's raining sharks. Hallelujah, it's raining sharks. Actually, this raises an important question. How are all of these sharks not only able to survive outside the water for so long, but survive being thrashed around violently by a fucking tornado? I'm pretty sure they should all be dead.
Oh my god, that was awesome!
The second Sharknado is also neutralized, but sadly, not before it takes out Baz. Also, 2 of Matt's fellow students are killed by falling sharks. Don't you hate it when that happens? You're walking around, minding your own business, when suddenly someone drops a shark on you. That's when you know you're having a bad day. They tried to take out a third Sharknado, but either Nova's aim was off or science suddenly remembered its own rules because it doesn't work. And they're out of bombs because I guess it never occurred to them to bring spares. Suddenly, a flying shark latches onto the copter, and when Nova tries to stab it to death, she falls out.
Touchdown!
With the copter out of commission, there's only one thing left to do. Finn grabs the Hummer and sets a collision course with the tornado. He lights a propane bomb, flashes the hang loose sign, really? Hits the nitro, bails out, and the Hummer of Death unleashes a huge explosion that neutralizes the final Sharknado. Finn races back to join his family when a flying shark threatens to take out his daughter. So he pushes her out of the way, revs up the chainsaw, and...
Oh, come on! Am I the only one who expected Finn to dive into that shark's mouth and immediately come flying out the ass end? That would have been such a great visual! Might have even topped that chainsaw bit from earlier. Who directed this thing anyway? Let's see... Anthony C. Ferrante. Mr. Ferrante, that was a missed opportunity. You're bad, and you should feel bad.
But of course, Finn survives his dive into the belly of a shark and saws his way out. And with that, the horror has finally passed, and Finn and his family can... Wait, why is he reaching back into the shark? Oh, come on, really? That just happened to be the exact same shark that ate Nova? And Finn somehow managed to avoid hitting her with the chainsaw when he dived in?
Breathe! Breathe! Come on.
And she's still alive? Horseshit. Oh, April, no, don't even... Oh, that's disgusting. At least let the guy wash up first. And with that, the movie comes to an end. I see what you did there.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, was Sharknado. Needless to say, it was complete trash. But I'll be damned if it wasn't some enjoyable trash.
As a wise man once told me, movies don't necessarily have to be good to be awesome, and Sharknado is proof of that statement. Yes, the premise is incredibly silly, the effects are awful, and the drama with Finn's ex-wife and daughter got old pretty quick. But the people making this movie knew exactly what they were doing, and they took this ridiculous premise and ran with it. And the end result is nothing short of hilarious. It also didn't hurt that it had far better acting than a movie like this should have, and the cast clearly had as much fun making this movie as I had watching it. And I hear a sequel is in the works. I can't wait. If you haven't seen it yet, what the hell are you waiting for? Grab the popcorn and enjoy yourself some Sharknado.
That's all for today. Next time, I think we should come back to those movies my sister got me for Christmas last year. Yeah, about time I got back to those, huh? Let's see, I already did Ballistic X vs. Sever, and the next one is...
I love your streamlined body, smooth and shiny underneath. Your dorsal fin, perched so proud and high, and best of all, your many teeth. And I love your beady eyeballs. Other people say they're cold, well, they're wrong.